The moment we have been waiting for has arrived. The much-anticipated This Morning program aired today following the weekend's revelations about the young age of Phillip Schofield's ex-lover when they met. 15. A source speaking to the Daily Mail said, "They know a huge number of people will be tuning in today. It will be like slowing down for a car crash. People will want to see how bad the damage is. The next 7 days are crucial. Executives need to prove that they are addressing the issues that have emerged following Phillip's revelations." Alison Hammond, 48, and Dermot 50, who usually host on Fridays, presented today's show. They have both previously said that they felt let down by Phillip after his affair with a significantly younger male colleague was confirmed just days after their gushing tribute to the presenter. Today they defended This Morning against claims of a toxic backstage culture as they returned to host the crisis hit program. The show's stand-in hosts tried to put a lid on the backlash with a brief aside before the daily review of the newspapers, which have splashed the row over their front pages. Addressing the elephant in the room, Dermot said, "We all know we happen to be in the news at the moment, and of course, we appreciate that. But just from both of us, the crew, and the whole team downstairs, we love making this show for you." Meanwhile, Phillip Schofield has broken his silence with a statement posted on his Instagram today. The 61-year-old presenter said, "Now I no longer work on This Morning, I am free to say this. I hope you have noticed that it's the same handful of people with a grudge against me or the show who seem to have the loudest voice. This Morning is the best show to work on, with the best people. In all the years I worked there was no toxicity. You can listen to those persistently loud voices if you like. But the thousands of guests over the years, thousands of staff and crew, hundreds of presenters and contributors all know it. It is a family of wonderful, talented, kind, hard-working people." After issuing the statement, Eamonn Holmes slammed "delusional" Phil and warned the axed host, "If you're looking for a fight, you've picked on the wrong person." Holmes, who previously helped present This Morning but now works for GB News, has issued a scathing response to the statement on Twitter, stating, "Schofield has just put out a delusional statement. Like Holly, he puts it on Insta stories, so if it goes wrong there is no record after 24 hours. I'm reluctant to give the liar any more publicity, but believe me Pip, if you are looking for a fight, you have picked on the wrong person." It has also been reported that Phillip Schofield has previously joked about getting away with things when asked by his younger lover where he saw himself in the future. The presenter's lover was working as an ITV production assistant at the time, and in a show reel filmed in 2014, the pair are seen joking with one another about Schofield's long career on This Morning. In the video seen by Mail Online, the 61-year-old presenter jokes that he can't find a way out of presenting This Morning after having hosted the show for 12 years at the time. The clip then cuts to Schofield's lover musing about what we'll both be doing in 3 years' time, to which the presenter replies, "Well, if I'm still getting away with it, I'll be a happy man." The video ends with the production assistant sitting on the famous This Morning sofa alongside Holly Willoughby as he asks her what she makes of his presenting skills. Willoughby quips, "Well, that was very good, actually. Tell you what, don't get too comfy sitting on this sofa. If Phil spots you after that, there'll be trouble." As the production assistant jokes, "There you go, watch out Schofield jokingly replies, "Oi, you bast." It has today been reported that Holly Willoughby is determined to fight to keep her spot on This Morning's sofa and hopes to ride out the ongoing scandal surrounding Phillip Schofield that has plunged ITV into a crisis, a source has claimed. One source told the Mirror, Holly wants to stay at This Morning as long as she can, and hopes to ride out the scandal. Other stars like Stephen Mulhern are being approached to fill in for Phil when she returns. Some are reluctant to go in and face angry viewers. Holly is determined to stay put. The only reason she would leave now is if This Morning is axed. She has absolutely no plans to leave. Staff on the ITV program are becoming concerned about their jobs, with fears they could be axed, The Sun also reported last night. It comes amid fears that the program will lose more of its advertisers, as one insider said, brands do not feel ITV is a safe bet at the moment. Car dealer Arnold Clark, which is the program's biggest sponsor, announced today that it would not be renewing their existing multi-million-pound deal with the broadcaster in autumn as planned, The Sun reported. The newspaper also reported that guests had been dropping out of appearing on the program. All photos of Schofield are said to have been stripped out of the ITV studios in White City, and a large framed picture of Schofield, which hung in TV Centre in London, where the show is filmed, was also removed following the star's statement on Friday, where he confessed that he lied to his employer ITV, to his colleagues, his friends, and his agents at the management firm YMU about his relationship with the younger man. It was revealed yesterday that the former lover of disgraced star Phillip Schofield has vowed to not lie about the relationship, which Schofield described as unwise but not illegal, but has left his 38-year TV career in tatters. Sources told the Mail that the former production assistant insists that he was never asked about the romance, while another ITV insider said, "Everybody just knew about it. It's time for some truths to be told now. This has been brushed under the carpet for so long, and it has to come to an end." The younger man has got to the point now where he won't lie for anyone, but actually, he says he was never asked by ITV about any relationship. It is time that people were held to account, or at the very least explain themselves. An ITV spokesman tonight stood firm, saying both parties were questioned. But the network refused to say when the questioning took place, or who conducted it. Mr. Ligo told Sky News no mistakes were made as his channel sought out the truth. Phillip's former lover was allegedly shunted from This Morning to another ITV program in 2020 after he is said to have admitted his love for Schofield at an award ceremony, prompting much gossip among employees of all levels that there was a relationship between them. Insiders say that the move between programs would have almost certainly been overseen by ITV's head of daytime, Emma Gormley. She has yet to comment. It has been previously stated that Phillip Schofield met his former lover when he was a 15-year-old schoolboy, and that he had reportedly asked him for a job, and that Schofield later arranged an interview for him. It led to a position as an ITV production assistant when he turned 18. It is said that they met at a school in northwest England when Phillip was in his late 40s. Some years later, the younger man became a production assistant on This Morning when Schofield was in his early 50s, and their ill-advised friendship, which grew into a relationship, started. Schofield had hired top law firm Mishkin de Reya to represent the young man, now in his mid-20s, presumably believing that he would keep quiet. The man was apparently invited down to the This Morning studios for an exclusive backstage tour of the hit daytime show in 2014, when he was 18 years old. It is alleged that he spent the day with Phillip Schofield and his former co-host Holly Willoughby after being invited for an Access All Areas tour at ITV's then London studios. Last night, Dr. Ranj Singh, who was a regular guest on This Morning, accused the show of having a toxic culture of bullying and discrimination. The TV doctor said he had taken his concerns to the top of ITV, but felt he had been managed out as he was dropped from screens, raising yet more questions for executives. He had worked on the show for 10 years and had even previously co-hosted it. He left in 2021. Dr. Ranj, who is now the resident doctor on the BBC's Morning Live, said he thought long and hard before weighing in on the scandal currently engulfing ITV, but decided to speak out in light of recent events. But the channel has denied his bombshell accusations as calls intensify for an independent probe into an ITV investigation by top brass in 2020 into Phillip Schofield's affair with his secret lover. Part of a lengthy Instagram post by Dr. Ranj Singh reads, "I've thought long and hard about posting this. If I'm honest, I really wish I didn't have to. But I've got to clarify some things that have been reported about me, and in light of recent events, I finally feel like I might be believed. To the journalists who have offered me money this weekend to share my experience of working at This Morning, thank you, but it would go against my principles to sell my story, especially about something like this. I didn't know the truth about what was going on with Phillip, but I do know the issues with This Morning go far beyond him. It takes more than one person to create a culture. I raised my concerns with Emma Gormley, especially given that my job is to look after people's well-being. I then found myself being used less and less. I even took my concerns directly to the top of ITV. The culture at This Morning has become toxic, no longer aligned with ITV values, and I felt like because I whistle-blew I was managed out." Richard Scorer, of lawyers Slater and Gordon, said that while all the details of the relationship were not yet known, any situation where a young person may have been subjected to a potential imbalance of abuse of power needs to be investigated fully and independently. The abuse specialist added that the long-standing rumors about the affair and the allegations that others in ITV were aware of the relationship meant it was imperative that there is a full and transparent investigation. Nadine Dorries also weighed in yesterday, piling pressure on Holly Willoughby, calling for a probe into complaints made to ITV about Phillip Schofield. The former Culture Secretary also accused Schofield of abusing authority, power, and trust after he confessed to having an affair with the younger colleague and covering it up with lies. Ms. Dorries said, "The fact that Phillip Schofield has made a rather grovelling apology to the Daily Mail in the form of an email, there seems to be this understanding that that's it now and everything will move on. It's not the case, I'm afraid. What it actually does is opens up more questions as to what happened. I think the editor of the program, Martin Frizzell, has some questions to answer himself. And I'm afraid so does Holly Willoughby. How did that young boy, so young, get a job at ITV? What were the processes involved? What was the safeguarding in place for someone so young at that age? What contact was first made? Who contacted who?" GB News presenter and Daily Mail columnist, Dan Wootton, has said that he told ITV about Phillip's affair with his young colleague in 2019 and urged them to investigate, but they dismissed it as malicious gossip. What followed looks like nothing short of a cover-up. It has been reported that Phillip Schofield has been leaning on the shoulder of his pal, Simon Schofield. Sources close to the veteran TV star told Mail Online the pair, who are not related, have been in regular communication in recent weeks whilst the pressure was mounting over his career. As well as bringing in a lawyer and PR expert to help deal with the crisis, singer and actor Simon has also been a rock for Phillip. They added, "Thankfully Simon has been on hand to talk to as much as he can. They're old mates who both know the industry inside out and appreciate how brutal it can be." Phillip, 61, and Simon, 38, worked together during the early part of their careers and have kept in close contact ever since. Indeed, 3 months after Phillip came out in February 2020, the pals were mistaken for lovers when the former Going Live presenter posted a picture of them on a socially distanced dog walk during the pandemic. Looking back over the past couple of decades, photos show that Simon has been a big part of Phillip Schofield's life, hailing back to the days when Phillip was a West End star. In 2016, Simon was the producer for the production The Knights of Music, which Phillip starred in. Phillip famously swapped television for the stage in the 1990s, taking the lead character role in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in the 1990s. His pal, Simon, reportedly made his own debut on the West End when he was just 12 years old, taking the title role in Oliver, and then went on to be part of West End collaborative The Barricade Boys, belting out stage numbers from the biggest shows. Simon then turned his focus to producing, co-founding Cisco Entertainment Group, a production company that creates shows both in the UK and internationally. In addition to producing, Simon has also worked as a scout for Simon Cowell's companies SYCO and Sony Music, discovering new talent for shows such as Britain's Got Talent and The X Factor. His productions have been featured on various television programs including Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway and This Morning, as well as in the US on NBC's Best Time Ever with Neil Patrick Harris. Simon is engaged to dancer Bethany Dowes after popping the question on Valentine's Day 2019. There is no doubt that Phillip Schofield will be in need of his rock, Simon, after this weekend's headlines. The storm doesn't appear to be dying down anytime soon, and it may gather pace this week following the airing of This Morning Today. Former I'm a Celebrity. Get me out of here. Star Kim Woodburn recently aired her views on the matter, stating that she doesn't feel sorry for Phillip Schofield and urges Holly Willoughby to quit. The outspoken star insists she has no sympathy for him, accusing Holly Willoughby of aiding and abetting her former co-host Phil. She also added that she believes it's time for Holly, 42, to leave the daytime show. As she explained, "I don't think she will have a choice. She isn't as nice as she makes out." She added, "When he is being too rude to people, she never once told him he was being nasty, and she lets him do it, and she aids and abets him. I think she should go, and I think she will go." Holly Willoughby, who is officially due to be back on the show on Monday, June 5th after a 2-week family holiday, could extend her time off in a desperate attempt to avoid being dragged further into controversy, PR guru Mark Borkowski has said. The team behind ITV's Golden Girl, including her advisors, agents, and lawyers, will now need to come up with the goods to guarantee her future, he claimed. Mr. Borkowski told Mail Online, "For Holly it's a case of staying out of the headlines, taking time out. Disappearing from public view. Clearly, she won't do TV at the moment, she might possibly extend that. She's the girl next door. She has huge commercial deals, clearly a talent, clearly liked." It is now said that this morning could face the chop as senior bosses, such as Chief Executive Carolyn McCall's job could be under threat, as the program comes under pressure to reveal what they knew about Phil's affair with the young runner. Some of the show hosts have even threatened to quit amid the toxic fallout, with one household name already drafted a resignation statement in the wake of Phil's admission. The whole This Morning senior team is in complete damage limitation mode, worrying about the presenters who might walk away. Phillip no doubt thinks he has tried to do the right thing, but the overwhelming feeling on set is that procedures need to be put in place to ensure the same mistakes never happen again. Some presenters feel the saga has left too much toxicity around the show, it can't survive, and they're considering their future. Insiders now say that Schofield's admission could make Holly's future on the show untenable. A source said the situation could leave a huge cloud over Holly, even if she was genuinely hoodwinked by Schofield. There's a growing feeling it might be better both for her and for the program to move on so that a line can be drawn under things, they said. This Morning now faces an uncertain future, with staff at ITV left stunned by Schofield's revelation night, sparking suspicion of their bosses and questions over if and what they knew about one of their biggest stars and his much younger male friend. How long can This Morning ride this storm is the question on everyone's lips today. Tensions are rising, anger is building, and probing questions are being asked and answers demanded. What is going to be done about all of this? Who knows what the situation will look like by the end of this week? Could there be more to this story than meets the eye? If so, is this not only the end of an era for Phillip Schofield but for Holly Willoughby too? Or will it be ITV show, This Morning getting the chop? Blinkerhole will bring you all the breaking news on the developments. Please like and subscribe to keep updated.